politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused.
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Festus KMO, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, highlighted challenges facing aviation, revealing over 100 airlines ceased operations in the last 40 years. KMO spoke at the Air Peace 10th anniversary celebration in Lagos, praising the airline's remarkable achievements in defying industry's high mortality rate. KMO emphasized understanding by airlines struggle to survive despite significant domestic travel demand. Citing a Boeing study, he noted the assumption of office. Despite initial commitments, progress appears slow, with federal roads still plagued by potholes, causing untimely death. Minister of Works David Umahi inherited 18,932 kilometers of 2,600 uncompleted road projects. However, stakeholders argue that this approach has led to more delays. Threat to revoke contracts have frustrated contractors, hindering progress. National Human Rights Commission reports that road accidents claim more lives than gunmen attacks. Umahi claims completion of 330 emergency projects, but funding issues persist. Federal roads in South, South and Southeast regions remain deplorable. Stakeholders, including Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, call for immediate repair of connecting roads between North and South. Youths protest poor condition of Obomosho axis of Oyo-Obomosho Highway, condemning death from frequent accidents. Experts assess ministers' performance as inadequate, citing lack of transparency and ineffective utilization of funds. Completed projects such as Third Mainland Bridge rehabilitation are overshadowed by delayed and abandoned. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Dangiwa emphasized the importance of ground rent payment in enhancing government revenue at the 29th Conference of Directors of Lands in Abuja. Non-compliance has resulted in trillions of naira lost to the federal government. Dangiwa expressed frustration over slow progress in land administration despite previous conferences. He urged stakeholders to transition from discussion to concurrent. Title owners have 60 days to settle outstanding debts. Dangiwa stressed that this revenue is vital for delivering the renewed hope agenda to citizens. He hopes for significant advancement by next year, encouraging stakeholders to take their roles seriously. Dr. Marcos Obumbiyi, Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, highlighted the importance of equitable land stewardship for economic growth. Effective land administration impacts climate change, community rights, and sustainable development. Conference attendees advocated for automated land titling and improved interagency coordination. Implementing these reforms will enhance land administration, promote economic growth, and support sustainable development. Dangiwa's call to action aims to revitalize land administration and unlock critical revenue streams. Central Bank of Nigeria's Governor Olayemi Cardoso has unveiled plans to launch a diaspora bond in the United States, targeting $1 billion monthly remittance inflow. This initiative aims to capitalize on Nigerians' abroad keenness to invest in their homeland. Remittance inflows have already surged, reaching $600 million in September, up from $250 million earlier this year. Cardoso attributes this growth to sweeping economic reforms implemented by President Bola Tinubu's administration. Nigerians abroad are eager to invest beyond financial support, taking advantage of a competitive and cheap currency. This presents opportunities for investment in assets and businesses. Finance Minister Wale Edun announced the successful issuance of a 500 million bond domestic, oversubscribed by 180% with $900 million raised. This demonstrates continued investor confidence in economic stability and growth prospect. Cardoso expressed optimism about achieving the $1 billion remittance goal, stating, "I would be surprised if we are not there by this time next year." This positive outlook underscores the government's commitment to strengthening ties with its diaspora. Nigerian banking sector's market capitalization has surged to 7.91 trillion naira, driven by recapitalization efforts and robust efforts. This represents a 27.19% increase or 1.69 trillion naira since June 3rd. Tunde Omolebe, Managing Director of Arthur Stevens Asset Management Limited, attributes this growth to successful recapitalization efforts. The recapitalization exercise has boosted market cap indirectly as share prices have reacted positively to increased capital. Omolebe noted 13 banks, including United Bank for Africa, Zenith Bank, and Access Holdings, have seen significant gains. 4 banks, UBA, FBN Holdings, GTCO, and Zenith Bank, have joined the 1 trillion naira market capitalization. Charles Sani, CEO of Cowrie Treasuries Limited, added recapitalization has positioned banks for growth. Central Bank of Nigeria's new capital requirements announced in March prompted banks to raise fresh capital. Banks utilize public offers and right issues to meet threshold. Recent developments include Fidelity Bank's oversubscribed 127.1 billion naira combined offer and guaranteed trust holding company's successful capital raise. FBN Holdings, United Bank for Africa, and Stanbic IBTC have announced capital raising plans. Experts predict continued growth in banking sector, driven by recapitalization and strong investor sentiment. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) intercept 16.68 billion naira worth of illicit drugs, dealing a significant blow to Nigeria's underground pharmaceutical trade. Operatives rejected a 10 million naira bribe attempt to release Solaye Eburojolo, linked to seized tramadol and codeine. The agency's joint operation with customs officials at Tin Can Port and Port Harcourt yielded 26.25 million tramadol pills and 508,400 codeine-based syrup bottles. Additional seizures include 10 million tramadol benzo tablets and 700 grams of methamphetamine. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi confirmed recoveries of 56 parcels of synthetic cannabis weighing 28 kg from Canada. Domestic raised netted 22,760 kg of Ghanaian loud and 770 kg of psychoactive substances. This disruption is expected to impact illicit drugs supply chains, influencing market dynamics. NDLEA's effort aimed to curb Nigeria's substance abuse and related health concerns. Experts predict increased collaboration between law enforcement agencies and healthcare providers to address underlying issues. Dr. Ememotimi Agama, Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission, will headline Institute of Capital Market Registrars' 13th Annual Conference on November 9, 2024. As keynote speaker, Agama will address enhancing financial stability and economy, strategic role of capital markets in wealth creation. Institute's President, Chairman of Council, Oluseyi Owoturo, confirmed Agama's Dr. Ayodele discussing balancing innovation and regulation for financial stability, and Jude Chiemeka, CEO of Nigerian Exchange Limited, focusing on restoring confidence in capital markets. Conference objectives include assessing current economic landscape, identifying challenges to financial stability, and proposing policy recommendations. Discussions will highlight capital markets' crucial role in funding businesses and government, driving innovation, job creation, and economic growth. Industry leaders and experts will gather to promote financial inclusion and empower individuals through financial access and participation, contribution to capital market growth. Crude oil exports between 2013 and 2022 generated 123.3 trillion naira. Nigeria's economy remains heavily dependent on domestic markets. This hinders indigenous shipping companies' growth, resulting in North Nigerian ownership among 5,000 vessels calling at national seaports yearly. Professor Akpan Ebo estimates 80 nations successfully leveraged resources to diversify economies and 929 metric tons between 2010 and 2009. However, experts emphasize better implementation of maritime laws to support indigenous shipping industry growth. Federal government presses ahead with critical tax reforms to boost revenue and efficiency and meet requirements of a $750 million World Bank loan. This loan is part of a broader 2-point plan safeguarding oil and gas revenues. Specifically, VAT collection 8% of non-oil GDP, ready 60,000 VAT filers, and launching an e-invoicing system. To achieve this target, government considers a bill proposed increase from 7.5% to 10% by 2025 and further to 12% by 2026 to 2029. Exercise duties on telecommunication services, gaming and betting activities are also proposed. Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigerian Customs Service will receive $5 million each for technical assistance, policy capacity building and other expenses. $10 million in funds recent denial of responsibility regarding removal of fuel subsidies in Africa's largest economy has sparked outrage from Labour Congress. Congress National President Joe Ajaero criticized IMF's African Region Director Abebe Selassie for characterizing subsidy removal as a domestic issue. Despite IMF's significant influence on policy making, Labour Congress argues IMF's denial is cynical and undermines economic growth, social welfare and equity. Furthermore, Congress asserts that IMF's denial undermines its credibility and raises doubts about sincerity of its economic prescriptions. Labour Congress urges African nations to reclaim economic sovereignty and resist external imposed policy. Removal seems insincere given its history of recommending similar austerity measures. In conclusion, Labour Congress demands that IMF takes ownership of its policies and prioritizing economic strategies promoting growth, social welfare and equity. Congress warns that continued imposition of harmful policies will compel African nations to reevaluate their relationship with IMF. Direct payment of statutory allocations to local government areas is set to commence in November 2024, marking a significant milestone in the implementation of local government autonomy. National President of National Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, Hakeem Ambali, confirmed the development in an exclusive interview. Ambali attributed the delay to concerns over salary payments and operational viability, which led to a 3-month moratorium by the federal government to their account. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) Chairman Ola Olukoyede assured diligent monitoring and tracking of expenditures of 774 local government chairmen. Olukoyede vowed to apprehend and prosecute any local government official misappropriating funds. EFCC's increased presence across the country aims to. The committee includes Minister of Finance Wale Edun and Attorney General of the Federal Fabemi. Its primary goal is granting full autonomy to local governments. NOLGE and other unions had written to the presidency demanding allocations not to be paid to states failing to implement LG autonomy. With November's Federal Accounts Allocation Committee distribution approaching, stakeholders anticipate smooth implementation. NOLGE President Edo State Daudu Clifford cautioned governors against delaying implementation. The Nigerian Exchange Limited maintained its upward trend last week, yielding a 835 billion naira gain for investors. Analysts cite increased investor confidence and active buying interest as drivers of this positive performance. Key highlights include the all-share index raising 1.41% to 448.91, market capitalization surpassing 60 trillion naira to close at 60.26 trillion naira year-to-date return, improving to 33.0%. Banking index leading gains with a 7.86% increase. Insurance and oil and gas indices rising 4.04% and 3.95% respectively. Trading activity surged with 2.142 billion units of shares worth 85.95 billion naira traded in 41,217 deals. Financial services led the inactivity chart, contributing 54.91% and 27.62% to total equity turnover volume and value. Top gainers include Unicel Interlink with conscious profit-making activities, potentially creating intermediate dips. Upcoming microeconomic data releases and corporate earnings reports are expected to influence short-term trading dynamics. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria Director General Shegun Ajayi Kadi identifies high production costs as a major obstacle to competitiveness of locally made goods. Despite quality products, manufacturers struggle to compete with imports due to harsh operating environments. Ajayi Kadi emphasized export potential but notes high production costs hinder. This inefficiency affects export competitiveness. Ajayi Kadi dispels notion of inferior local products, attributing misconception to unregulated operators. Regulated manufacturers produce goods meeting global standards. Consumer preference, price, and quality impacts competitiveness, with price becoming increasingly significant due to declining purchasing power. MAN advocates for initiatives improving operating environments. Ajayi Kadi suggests stationary import duty rates attention. Babatunji Adeboke, a civil engineer and project manager consultant, urges government review of existing road designs to prevent accidents. Regular maintenance is crucial to prolong road network span. Enhancing safety and functionality can be achieved by implementing human factor considerations and common road user behavior. Adeboke suggests improvement in road signage and illumination to minimize accidents. Stronger enforcement of health and safety standards reduce congestions, extend durability, and improve quality of life. Government efforts in constructing new roads such as Lekki-Epe Expressway should be commended. However, adequate maintenance plans must accompany this project. Effective implementation of road safety measures requires collaboration between government agencies, construction companies, and road users. By prioritizing maintenance and safety, governments can reduce accidents, promote economic growth, and enhance driving experiences. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. And you can connect with us and watch us on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. X Mali Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Nigerian-Hungarian Chamber of Commerce recently held its first breakfast meeting and induction ceremony, welcoming 30 new members at its Lagos office. This marks a new phase in the Chamber's operation since its formal establishment earlier this year. President Spencer Onosode praised members' entrepreneurial drive and highlighted Hungary's drive despite facing numerous wars and global shifts, excelling in education, tourism, arts, and architecture. Isabella Abia Okon, Business Development Director, presented glimpses of Hungary, showcasing Hungary's innovation and business opportunities. Banji Akinshola, a new member who studied in Hungary, shared insights on engaging with Hungary's business landscape, describing it as a land of vast opportunity. Dr. Modupe Irele, former ambassador to Hungary. Josephine Peters, CEO of GEC Academy International, also attended, having facilitated Nigerian student placements in Hungarian institutions for over 30 years. This development is expected to strengthen bilateral trade between Nigeria and Hungary. As this chamber continues to promote business opportunities, its efforts will likely contribute to economic growth and cooperation between both nations. Nigerian oil and gas company Ocean Gate Oil and Gas Engineering has secured a multi-billion-dollar deal with Global Petroleum Group to launch a major oil and gas venture in Grenada. This transformative partnership aims to develop Grenada's significant hydrocarbon reserves. According to Ocean Gates Group CEO Dr. Aisha Achimugu, the venture will bring substantial economic benefits and energy resources to Grenada, emerging as a major energy hub in the Caribbean and beyond. Key highlights of the partnership include development of Grenada's hydrocarbon reserves, economic benefits and energy resources for Grenada, job creation, infrastructure, development and technology transfer, positioning Grenada as a key energy supplier in the region. Achimugu emphasized Ocean Gate's commitment to sustainable energy solutions, respecting environmental standards while driving economic prosperity. Growth and sustainable development provide unprecedented economic opportunities across sectors. This historic deal is set to cement Grenada's status as a major energy hub, fostering economic collaboration between Africa and the Caribbean. You're watching ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. You're still watching ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of the stories. U.S. equity futures rallied Monday, driven by anticipation of strong mega-cap technology earnings and easing geopolitical tensions. Investors sought to extend Nasdaq Composite's record-breaking streak. Futures tied to Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 187 points or 0.4%, while S&P 500 futures rose 0.5%. Nasdaq 100 futures advanced 0.6%. Weekend airstrikes by Israel against Iran, which avoided oil and nuclear facilities, elevated concerns. Last week, Nasdaq Composite reached new intraday highs, whereas Dow and SP 500 snapped 6-week winning streaks. This week promises intense activity with 5 tech giants, Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Amazon, and Apple reporting third-quarter earnings. Investors expect these companies to reaffirm commitment to AI-driven tech spending. Young-Yu Ma, BMO Wealth Management's Chief Investment Officer, noted mega-cap tech names will reinforce AI investment commitments. Any deviation from these expectations could impact market sentiment. Key economic data releases this week include September jobs reports, PCE price index, and preliminary third-quarter GDP reading. Traders will closely monitor this report, seeking insight into economic trends. Japan's Nikkei 225 index led the region's gains on Monday, surging 1.82% after the ruling Liberal Democratic Party lost its majority in the lower house of parliament. The Topix index rose 1.51% to 2,657.78. Other key Asian markets also rallied, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng index reversing losses to gain 0.18%. Mainland China's CSI 300 index urged 0.2% higher to 3,964.16, despite China reporting its worst industrial profit numbers since the pandemic. China's industrial profits plummeted 27.1% year-on-year in September, sparking concerns. However, investors seem to shrug off the dismal data. South Korea's Kospi index advanced 1.13% to 2,612.43, while the Kosdaq small cap index rebounded 1.8% from a 6-week low to 740.48. The regional market gains suggest that investors are focusing on potential policy shifts in Japan following the election outcome rather than China's economic woes. Wolfe Research has downgraded Honeywell's stock rating from outperform to peer perform, citing potential headwinds that may hinder the company's growth over the next year. Analyst Nigel Coe expressed concerns about Honeywell's struggles over the past 2 years and the likelihood of resolving these challenges within the next 12 months. He anticipates another wave of negative earnings revision in the first half of 2025. Key concerns include deceleration in Honeywell Process Solutions (HPS) and Universal Oil Products (UOP) business unit potential margin peak, particularly if aerospace margins remain stagnant at 27% in 2025, offsetting gains from short-cycle units despite a 7% stock price increase. Over the past 6 months, Honeywell's year-to-date performance is down almost 1%. Wolfe Research rating change marks the first time since November 2005 that the firm has shifted from an outperform rating on Honeywell. As market volatility persists, investors are increasingly seeking stable income and diversification. Dividend stocks have emerged as an attractive option, offering relatively secure returns. Wall Street analysts have identified 3 top dividend-paying stocks: Energy Transfer (ET), Diamondback Energy (FANG), and Cisco System (CSCO). Energy Transfer, a midstream energy leader, Energy Transfer boasts an extensive network of over 130,000 miles of pipeline infrastructure across 45 24 states. As a limited partnership, ET offers a compelling dividend yield of 7.8%. RBC Capital analyst Evira Scotto recently raised the price target to $20, citing ET's strategic exposure to the Permian Basin and potential benefits from data center AI growth. Scotto expects ET's extensive assets footprint to generate meaningful cash flow growth, enabling the company to increase distributions to unit holders. Diamond Bank Energy, an independent oil and gas company focused on Permian Basin reserves. Its recent Endeavor Energy acquisition has bolstered its business, positioning the company for long-term growth. JP Morgan's Arun Jarama boosted the price target to $205, noting Diamondback's rapid integration process and potential for improved guidance. Jaraman expects Diamondback to deliver flat to low single-digit volume growth while returning 50% of free cash flow to shareholders. Cisco Systems offers a 2.9% dividend yield and is poised to benefit from a shift to AI-driven networks, cybersecurity integration, and software-focused services. Tigress Financial's Ivan Finset raised the price target to $78, citing Cisco's strategic transaction and potential for increased margins and recurring revenues. Finset expects Cisco's $28 billion acquisition of Splunk to enhance its AI and security software development. These dividend-paying stocks are well-positioned for growth, with analysts optimistic about their financial strength and ability to pay consistent dividends. Brent crude futures slid 6.13% to $71.39 barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures fell 6.35% to $67.22 per barrel. Israel's weekend attack on Iranian military installations avoided oil and nuclear facilities, elevating supply disruption fears. Iranian news agency Tasnim reported limited damage and no disruptions to oil industry operations. CT analysts revised the Brent oil forecast downward by $4 to $70 per barrel over the next 3 months. Andy Lippold, president of Nipol Oil Associates, expects oil prices to remain under pressure due to global oversupply. Increasing oil production in key countries, including the US, Canada, and Brazil, contributes to this surplus. Market attention shifts to Hamas-Israel and Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire talks amid ongoing regional tensions. Rapidan Energy founder Bob Nuknali expects prices to remain volatile but range-bound. Iran accounts for up to 4% of global oil supplies, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Experts caution that risk persists due to Iran's potential response. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.